Hi, welcome back to my channel, where I share my cleaning experiences. Do you know what is one of the interesting things when talking about cleaning? That is, everyone has their own golden rule. Some people have to wash the dishes right after a meal. Some people never leave clean dishes in the basket. And what I like most is those rules do not come from books, but from life, from people who have struggled with clutter and found a way that works for them. So in today's video, I have compiled 10 rules for keeping a clean house, shared by my friends. The tips are practical, easy to apply, and sometimes quite funny. Rule 1 is always clean the sink before bed. A small thing that only takes a few minutes each night, but makes a huge difference the next morning is keeping the sink empty before bed. Leaving the dishes to soak overnight will only result in waking up to a stinky smell and a sink full of dirty dishes. And actually, the hardest part isn't the washing up. It's convincing yourself to do it now instead of tomorrow. But if you can get through that lazy moment, you'll be rewarded with something incredibly pleasant the next morning. A clean, light kitchen without the feeling of it's late, and I have to wash the dishes to start the day. This habit can even help you keep your house tidier all day long. Because when the sink is clean, you tend to not want to put anything dirty in it. So if you want to start with just one rule to get you started on keeping your house cleaner, try this little habit first. It's just one thing, but it makes you feel organized, in control, and able to breathe easy first thing in the morning. If you're getting ready for the upcoming Christmas holidays and don't want to be stuck with early November to late January clutter, this next video is perfect for you. I'm going to share how to organize an area of your home, an area that's often overlooked, to help you keep your holiday space bright, cozy, and not too stuffy. Click subscribe to not miss out. Let's get back to today's content. Rule 2 is, if it takes less than a minute, do it now. There are many small tasks around the house, so small that you can do them in less than a minute. For example, put the shirt in the closet, quickly wipe the wet table, fold the blanket on the chair, pick up a few toys from the floor. They are simple, but if you keep putting them off for later, they will quickly become a long list, making you feel discouraged. So try this rule. If it takes less than a minute, do it now. This principle not only helps you deal with each small task in a timely manner, but also prevents the buildup, both of things and of feeling overwhelmed in your head. When you start to build the habit of tackling things right then and there instead of putting them off, gradually you will feel like you are taking control of your living space, not with one big move, but with many small regular actions. Now let's move on to the next rule. Rule 3 is clean up as if someone is coming to visit. Just imagine that someone is about to enter the house, maybe a friend or a colleague, and you will immediately see the living space through the eyes of an outsider. And when you do, you will easily recognize the messy places, the unsatisfactory corners. You start to act faster, more decisively. No more hesitation with questions like, "Where's this? Does that need to be kept? The guests are coming." Mindset also helps you prioritize more. Clearly, the table needs to be empty. The pillows need to be neat. The sink should not have dirty dishes. You do not focus on the details, but on the overall feeling. Neat, clean, airy. And most importantly, when the house is always in a state of ready to welcome guests, you will also feel more comfortable when entering. It's as if you're welcoming a less stressed, more relaxed version of yourself. Let's move on to the next rule. Rule 4 is, everything has its place. One of the most fundamental principles of keeping a tidy home is every item must have a fixed home. It sounds simple, but when you actually apply this, everything starts to change. No more temporary things left on the table, on the chair, or piled up in the corner of the house because you don't know where to put them. When everything has its own place, you will save a lot of energy. No thinking, no searching, no frustration. Just remember, when you're done using it, put it back where it belongs. That's it. This is especially useful in families with young children. When your child knows where their toys, books, or slippers are, teaching them to clean up after themselves becomes much easier. And if there's an item that just can't seem to find a place, it might be a sign that it's not really needed in your home. And let it go. That's it. A small change, but it will help you reduce clutter, save time, and make your day easier. Now, let's move on to the next part. Rule 5 is clean while cooking. There is a golden rule in the kitchen: don't leave everything to the end. A friend of mine shared that when cooking, she always takes advantage of the waiting time, like when the water is boiling or the food is cooking, to wash the knife, wipe the stovetop, and put away leftover ingredients. This method not only saves time, but also keeps the kitchen from turning into a battlefield after the meal. When you finish cooking, the kitchen is almost done. And the special thing is when you cook and clean at the same time, your mind is also lighter. There is no longer the feeling of, why is there a pile of stuff to clean up? Instead, there is a feeling of control, little by little, right while you are doing it. If you feel that the kitchen is the most frustrating place to clean, try this rule first. A little at a time, and then you will realize keeping the kitchen tidy is not as difficult as you think. Let's move on to the next part. Rule 6 is, clutter begets clutter. Just one misplaced item, a shirt hanging on a chair, a bag not put away, and the next one just keeps coming. And then the space quickly becomes a mess. It's not because you're deliberately messy, it's because the "let's just leave it here" mentality starts to repeat itself. That's why the principle of clutter begets clutter is so important. If you leave a mess, it's like an invitation for the next item to be messy as well. On the contrary, when a corner is kept tidy, you tend to want to keep it clean longer. You don't want to mess it up, you feel sorry for the effort you put into cleaning it. So every time you think about leaving this here for now, try stopping and thinking, am I starting a chain of clutter? By keeping one area clean, you have a foundation to pull the tidiness in other areas. And from there, keeping the whole house tidy becomes much easier. Let's move on to the next rule. Rule 7 is to fold and put away clothes immediately after washing. There is a very familiar cycle: wash clothes, dry them, take them out, then leave them in the basket. They may sit there for a day, 3 days, even a week. And then that pile of clean clothes becomes a new source of clutter. Try this rule. Never take clothes out of the dryer until you are ready to fold and put them away. It may sound rigid, but it actually makes sense. Because if you have gone to the trouble of washing them, why let them lie there crumpled, tangled, and then have to deal with them again? Another rule that goes along with it: clean clothes should not be in the basket. The basket is just a means of transportation, from the dryer to the room, not a place to store clothes. This habit helps you complete the laundry cycle. Avoid the feeling of where did the clothes go, even though you know they've just been washed. And keep your room tidy without endless baskets of laundry. If you feel like laundry is a never-ending task, Rule 8 is the dishwasher is not a storage for clean items. One of the most insidious kitchen habits is leaving clean items in the dishwasher. You know you've washed them. The machine was finished long ago, but instead of taking them all out and putting them away in the cupboard, you keep pulling them out one by one when you need them. And then when you have new dirty items, you don't know where to put them, because the spot is still stuck with clean items. Try this rule. When the dishwasher says it's done, take them out immediately. It only takes a few minutes to put away clean items, but in return, you keep your kitchen running smoothly. And you won't have to deal with dirty dishes piling up in the sink just because the dishwasher isn't empty. See the dishwasher for what it is: a place to handle dirty items, not a place to temporarily hold clean items. Once you clarify that role, keeping your kitchen clean becomes a lot easier and more seamless. Now let's move on to the next rule. Rule 9 is ask questions. There are days when you look around your house and honestly don't know where to start. Everything is a mess and you have absolutely no desire to do anything. Instead of forcing yourself to do it, try a gentler approach. Ask yourself a simple question. If it were my friend or someone I admire, what would they do in this situation? This question is like a mood switch. From I don't want to if they were a person with good habits, what would they do? From a vague feeling to a specific action: wiping the table, folding the blanket, putting things away. It could be a friend who lives a very neat life, a sister who always knows how to keep the house clean without stress, or a YouTuber you watch often. It could even be the ideal version of yourself, someone who knows how to live a more organized and calm life every day? That little question will help you. Stop for a moment to observe. Get rid of the feeling of confusion in your head, and make decisions like a person who is in control of his living space, not to imitate someone, nor to do like everyone else, but to remind yourself of a simple thing. I can start with small things, like I have seen others do. And Rule 10 is, if you have time to sit around, you have time to clean. This may sound like a stern coach, but it's actually a very practical rule. If you have time to sit around, you have time to clean up a little. We all have those moments when we scroll through our phones for a few minutes, wait for the water to boil, or lie down because we don't feel like doing anything yet. Instead of letting those moments pass by aimlessly, you can use them to tackle a small task at hand. It doesn't have to be a whole room. It's as simple as arrange the pillows, quickly wipe down the table, put away a few things that are out of place. Not only will this help you tidy up a little bit, but it will also help you feel less guilty about relaxing, because you know you've just done something useful no matter how small. And more importantly, when you maintain the habit of cleaning while living, cleaning is no longer a burden that requires a separate time. It becomes a natural part of daily life. So we've covered all 10 rules. Hopefully one of these will become your go-to trick, something you can remember when you're tired, when you're messy, or when you don't know where to start. And if you have a rule of your own that helps keep your home tidy and more breathable, don't hesitate to share it in the comments. Who knows, your little trick might be just what someone needs to hear. If you're gearing up for the upcoming holidays and don't want to be stuck with stuff all over the place from early November to the end of January, then this next video is perfect for you. I'll share how to rearrange an area of your home, an area that's often overlooked, to help you keep your holiday space light, cozy, and not overwhelming. Click subscribe to not miss out, and thank you for sticking around until the end of today's video. See you in the next one.